Hi team, Mr. Rato here. This is the Year 12 A-Level Mathematics Bridging course from GCSE to A-Level Maths. Okay, as promised, this is section 2. We're going to be looking at solving equations. Again, you've done some of this stuff at GCSE. We're just going to start from some simple questions and then move on to some tougher ones. Okay, again, it's always best to recap on the easier ones, and then as we go along and develop on the more difficult ones. And again, these will help you when starting your A level. Okay, also just a recap of what's been happening since the GCSE. Okay, so let's just start on this simple question. Again, let me just remind you, when we're moving from numbers from one side to the other, we do the inverse operation. So first of all, this -7, I need to take to the other side. Opposite of -7 becomes a +7. Okay, simple. So we got 2x here equals 21 plus 7 is 28. Now this is 2x. What is the 2 doing? It's times in the x. So the opposite of times in is divided by 2. So I'm going to be left with just x on this side since the 2 is gone. And 28 shared by 2 is 14. So my answer is 14. All right. Let's go on to slightly different. So now what we got is the unknown on both sides. So we want to put all the unknowns to the side which has got the most on. So this left hand side has got 6y, and on the right hand side I've got 4y. So I'm going to take this 4y to the left hand side. I'm going to take it to the other side. Now this is a positive 4y. Okay, the opposite of plus 4y is minus 4y. So that's the opposite of plus 4y is minus 4y. So 6y minus 4y is 2y. Minus 11 equals, now this is gone to the other side, so all we left on here is 31. So now I've got all my y's on one side. Just by doing this simple process, I've got all my y's on one side. Now I want all the numbers on the opposite side. So this minus 11, first of all, needs to go to the other side. So opposite of minus 11 is plus 11. So I end up with 2y here equals 31 plus 11 is 42. Now 2y equals 42. 2y means 2 times. The opposite of 2 times is divided by 2. Right? So y, that will leave you just y on this side. And 42 divided by 2 is 21. So my answer is 21. Okay. So more. Now here, again, we got unknown on 2 sides, but also we got a bracket, 2 brackets. Okay, bracket on each side. So first of all, let's get rid of the brackets. So let's do an expanding out the brackets, what we did in section 1. So times everything inside the bracket by the number outside, which is 3. So this will be 3 times x is 3x. 3 times minus 1 is minus 3. I've got 2 times 2x is 4x. And I've got 2 times 5. 2 times 5 is 10. So positive, so it's plus 10. Okay, which side has got the most on? This has got positive 4x, this has got positive 3x. So this has got the most, so I'm going to keep my x's on the right hand side this time. So I'm going to grab this 3x. Since it's a positive 3x, the opposite of positive 3x taken to the other side is minus 3x. So I'm going to end up with minus 3 equals, now 4x, take away 3x is just x plus 10. Now, if you want, I can rewrite this. Now, this means implies both ways. Okay, so this can be rewritten as x plus 10 is equal to minus 3. Just in my experience, kids like to write the x's on the, in fact, even I do like to write the x on the left hand side and the answer on the right hand side. So now this positive 10 I take to the other side becomes minus 10. So x is equal to minus 3 minus 10 is minus 13. So x is equal to minus 13 is my answer. Okay, let's do the next one. Now, again, anytime you want to pause it, have a go yourself, then press play and see what you get. If you get similar to what I'm getting. Not guaranteed, mine are always right. I always make silly mistakes. So please just message me if you find any. So here we go. Question 4. I'm going to times everything inside the bracket by the number outside. So 8x times x is 8x. 8 times 3 is 24. 8, 16, 24. Yeah. Equals. Now leave the 6 just there. Now I'm going to times everything inside the bracket by the number outside, which is minus 2. So minus 2 times 2x is minus 4x. Now be careful here because most people mistakes here, whereas 2 negatives make a positive, 2 become 1. So minus 2 times minus 1 is plus 2. Okay, 2 negative become positive, 2 times 1 is 2. Okay, before we do any solving equations, let's just collect all the terms here. So that's going to give me 8, because it's 6 plus 2 is 8 minus 4x. And there's nothing to collect here, so I'm just going to leave this as 8x plus 24. Now again, there's my negative. I'm going to use a different color just to highlight these points. So this is a minus 4x. Take it to the other side. Opposite minus 4x is plus 4x. Always the opposite when you're crossing this equal sign from one side to the other. So now 8x plus 4x is 12x plus 24 is going to equal to, now you're just left with 8 on this side. Okay, let's just hop between these two colors. I need to find what x is. This has no x, this is just numbers. I want to put all the numbers on the opposite side. So plus 24, opposite plus 24 is minus 24. So I'm going to end up with 12x equals 8 minus 24 is minus 16. And now this is times 12. Opposite times 12 is divided by 12. I'm running out of space here, so I'm just going to put the answer here. So that's going to give me x equals minus 16. Now when you're doing divided by 24, it's better to just put a fraction sign and put it like this. That also means divide for fractions. So when we're dividing that, what we can do here is cancel out and get cancel out the common factors, which is 4 in this case. So how many 4s going to 16 is 4, so that's going to be minus 4 on top. And how many 4s going to 12 is 3. So you can leave it as top heavy. If you're feeling fresh, you can leave it, put it as minus 1 and 1 for, depending on how confident you are. Okay, doesn't really matter, 6 and 2 3s, whichever way you want. They're both acceptable. Okay, again, pause it, see what you think. If not, let's move on. So first thing here, let's expand, get rid of the bracket. Okay, expand this out. So everything inside the bracket gets times by this 5, so that's going to give me 15x. And then 5 times 1 is 5. And on the other side, I'm just going to get 12x minus 35. Now again, this 12x, this 15x, which side has got most? The left hand side. So I'm going to get this, let's just again change the color, get this 12. Now don't forget it's positive. Okay, look at the symbol in front, there's no symbol, it's a positive. So opposite of 12x, positive 12x is minus 12x. So 15 take away 12x is 3x. You got the plus 5 there. And that's going to equal, so that's gone to the other side. We're just going to end up with minus 35 here. Now, this is a plus 5. Opposite of plus 5 is minus 5. So you end up with 3x is equal to minus 35. Minus 5 is minus 40. Okay, so let's just double check because it doesn't looks a bit bizarre question here, but 12x, that's 15x, that's 5, that's 12. Take that to the side, you're left with 3x there, yep, and minus 5, yep, so that's all good. And then x is equal to minus 40 over 3. I'm going to leave it like that. That's okay. Top heavy fraction, like I said before, it's no problem. If you want to, I'm going to leave it like that. If you want to put it as a mixed number, again, if you want to practice that, how many 3 is going to 39? Well, you know 13 times 3 is 39. So that's 13 whole ones. Don't forget the negative. And remainder 1 over 3. Okay, because 13 times 3 is 39 plus 1 is 40. Okay, let's just quickly expand this out first of all. So times everything inside the bracket by the number 3. 3 times 9, 9, 18, 27x. And 3 times 17, 3 times 10 is 30. 3 times 7, 21. 21 plus 30 is 51. So that's minus 51 equals 0. Minus 51, take it to the side, becomes plus 51. So you get 27x. So let me just again switch this to a different color. Grab it. Take it to the side, becomes a plus 51. So that's going to give me 51 on this side. Okay, so if I want x, this is times, don't forget this is being, x is being multiplied by 27. So the opposite of times in 27 is divide by 27. So you end up with 51 over 27. Okay, again, I'm quite happy to leave it like that. Okay, top heavy fraction as good as any other number. Okay, let's move on. So now it's getting a bit tougher. Okay, right, you could do this 2 different ways. Let's just stick to our method and just do it the way we've been doing at the moment. But there is a simpler way to do this. But let's just have a look at this. Let's expand this out first of all. So x times x is x squared. X times 3 is 3x. 2 times x is 2x. And 2 times 3 is 6. And this one is minus x, so minus x times x is minus x squared. And minus x times 2 is minus 2x. And that is equal to 0. So let's just change the color here to red. So first of all, let's collect all our like terms. So what we got here is we've got x squared minus x squared, so they cancel. They cancelled. Okay. And we got 3x plus 2x, which is 5x, minus 2x. So really, these 2x's are cancelling. So I ended up with 3x here plus 6 is going to equal 0. Now, I need to take the plus 6. I want to solve this for x. So plus 6, I want to take that to the other side. Becomes a minus 6. So I end up with 3x equals minus 6. And then this is 3 times. Okay, 3 times x. Opposite of 3 times is divided by 3. So I'll end up with x equals, so how many 3 is going to 6 is 2, so that's going to end up with minus 2. Okay, next we're going to get on some difficult stuff. Again, if you fancy trying them, pause the video, have a go. If not, watch this first one, and then there's plenty more to go on to do some more of these type of questions. Now these are called algebraic fractions. Okay. Now the best way to solve algebraic fractions is to try and get rid of the fraction. So first thing first I'm going to do So I change this to red. We'll put brackets around the denominator. Sorry, around the numerator. Put brackets around the numerator. If you want, you can put brackets around the denominator too if you want. It's no problem. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this fraction by cross multiplying. So I'm going to times 3 to the other side, because all this side is being divided by 3. So the opposite of divide by 3 becomes times 3. Likewise, all this side here, right hand side, is being divided by 5. The opposite of divide by 5 is times by 5. Okay, so I've taken this 3 to the other side because this was being divided by. Likewise, all this being divided by 5. So I took them to the opposite sides. And just by doing that, let's just write this out a bit clearer here. So I've times all this side, this 5 goes to the other side. So what I've got is I've got 5, open bracket, 2x minus 6 equals, and I've got the 3 is gone to the other side by times in 3. So I've got 3, open bracket, x minus 3. Now it's crucial that you put brackets around it because everything is being times by 5 here, and everything here is going to be times by 3. Okay. Now by doing that simple process, you got rid of the fraction. And then, as we've been doing earlier on, expand out the bracket. So 5x times 2x is 10x. 5 times minus 6 is minus 30. 3 times x is 3x. And 3 times minus 3 is minus 9. So we want to bring all the x's to the side which has got most x's on, so that's the left hand side. So I'm going to grab this 3x, which is a positive 3x on here. This is going to the left hand side, and opposite of plus 3x is minus 3x. So 10x minus 3x is 7x. Minus 30 is equal to, that's gone, just minus 9 on here. I've got minus 30 on here, and I can just grab the minus 30, take it to the side. Opposite of minus 30 is plus 30. So I'm going to end up with 7x is going to equal, now that's plus on that side, so it's plus 30 minus 9. So 30 minus 9 is 21. And you should have to spot straight away that 7 times what will give me 21, so x must be 3, but just to prove that point, let's just grab this 7x. What is that 7x? That 7x is 7 is being times by x. Opposite of divide, times is divide by 7. And as we said, x must equal how many 7's going to 21 is 3. Okay, let's scroll down. Right, question 9. So we've got the same thing. We just done this earlier on. If you want, you can have a go, pause the video, have a go at this. If not, let's have a quick go. First thing first, put brackets around the numerator and then cross multiply. So I'm just going to put cross multiply here. So that's going to go there, that's going to go there. So you rewrite this with the 5 going to the other side. Bracket x plus 7 and the 2 going to the other side equals 2 bracket 3x minus 1. Okay, so everything here is being times by 5 and everything on this side is going to be times by 2. So let's get rid of the brackets by expanding out. So let's just quickly do that. 5 times x, 5x. 5 times 7 is 35 equals 2 times x is 6x, and 2 times minus 1 is minus 2. Okay, so which side has got the most on is most x's, this side. So what I'm going to do is grab this 5x. Just double check I've done this right here. Done that right, happy days. Let's move that to the other side. Now don't forget this is a plus 5x, Opposite 5x is minus 5x, so we're going to end up with 35 equals 6x minus 5x is just going to give me 1x. Now 1x we can just write as x. That's got minus 2. Like I said before, we can just rewrite this one to the other side. So if left hand side equals right hand side, then right hand side must equal left hand side. So I can just bring that easily on here and put it like that. I mean, I enjoy writing it like this, and my students do, so it's your preference, see how you like it. And then this minus 2, take it to the other side. Opposite of minus 2 is plus 2. So you end up with x equals 35 plus 2 is 37. And there you go. Bob's your uncle. Job done. Okay, let's scroll down. Same process here, just with more negatives in here. So have a go yourself. Pause it. If not, continue watching. So first of all, brackets around here. And again, cross multiply. So multiply all the side on the left by 5 and all the side on the right by 3. So what we're going to end up, with 5, open bracket, 4 minus x equals, and on this side we're going to end up with 3, it's been times the right hand side, open bracket, 3x minus 2. Now, so we've got all this side times by 5 and all this side times by 3. So let's just first of all expand this out. So 5 times 4 is 20. And 5 times minus x is minus 5x equals 3 times 3x is 3x is 9x, and 3 times minus 2 is minus 6. Alright, so we've got minus 5 here, minus 5x, and we've got positive 9x. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab this minus 5x and take it to the other side. So opposite of minus 5x is plus 5x. So now we got 20. This minus 5 has gone to the other side. So 9x plus 5x is 14x. And I've got the minus 6 here. Again, 6 and 2 3, but I'm going to rewrite this as 14x minus 6 equals 20. Just making sure I've times everything. That's 20, that's minus 5, that's 9, 3 times 2 is 6. Alright, so now always double check, see who's going. What you also could do is once you get your answer, sub it into the original equation and see the left hand side equals the right hand side. Okay, just to double check. So minus 6 now has to go to the other side, opposite side becomes a plus 6. So you end up with 14x equals 20 plus the 6 is 26, and then x would equal opposite of times 14 is divided by 14, so you end up with 26 over 14. Now obviously they both got a common factor of 2 in there, so you could half the top and half the bottom, and that will give you x equals 13 over 7. Alright, let's just have a go, scroll down. Again, anytime you want to pause the video, have a go yourself, you can do, it's not a problem. Okay, so here we go. Now it's getting a bit more difficult here, some of these questions, so what we can do here is alright, so what the best thing to do here is look for the highest common factor, or what we could do is we could just cancel. And the best way to do is I'm going to rewrite this and times everything by the denominator and write them at the top. So I'm going to multiply all the denominators upwards to the numerator. So I'm going to times everything by 2, can times everything by 2. There are 3 terms here. Then I'm going to times everything by 3. It looks complicated, so in effect I've times everything by 6. But it looks complicated, but actually when you write things out, you see what I'm getting at. So let's just write this out in all out so that it makes sense. But before we do anything, let's just put brackets around here. And this is multiplying, taking away all that fraction, so put brackets around there. So I've got 2 times 3 times this bracket, which is x minus 10 over 2 minus, I've got 2 times 3 times the bracket, which is 2x plus 3 all over 3 equals 2 times 2 times 3. Now apologies about this, but it's always best to write it out beforehand and see what's going, because it looks more complicated than what we started off with. But when you look at it, I'm trying to give you the reason why we've done this, and when you look at it, you can see why I've done it. Is basically what happens is that 2 cancels with that 2, and this 3 cancels with that 3. So what you in effect get is you get rid of all the fraction by multiplying everything by 6. So that ends up with 3 open bracket x minus 10. This is minus, this ends up with 2 open bracket 2x plus 3, and equals, and this ends up 2 times 2 times 3 is 6, 6 times 2 is 12, ends up with 12. So what we've done is by timesing everything by 2 and 3, each term by 6, we've got rid of the fraction. So just put that implies what's happened there. And now we could continue what we've been doing previously. All you gotta do is multiply out the bracket, so times everything by 3, so we end up with 3x plus 30 minus times everything by minus 2, so minus 2 times 2x is minus 4x, minus 2 times 2 is minus 6, and that equals 12. Now note that because it was taken away all this fraction, so it's taken away each term of this, so those both terms become negative. Okay, as we put the brackets in there, because it's taken away the whole fraction here. So what we got is 3x take away 4x is minus x, and 30 minus 6 is 30 take away 6 is 24, which is going to equal to 12. So 3x minus 4x is minus x, and 30 minus 6 is 24. 12. So now, don't worry about that negative, it's going to disappear in a second. So that's a plus 24. Take that to the other side, becomes a minus 24. Okay, so you end up with minus x equals 12. Take away 24 is minus 12. Alright, and now that's minus x equals minus 12. If I times both sides by minus 1, times this by negative 1, you could just negate both sides, and what you end up with is that becoming x, and that equaling to 12. So x equals 12. Okay, this one, let's scroll down to question 12. Again, very similar. If you want, you can pause the video and have a go. If not, carry on watching. So again, let's first of all, so what I'm going to do is, first thing first, I'm going to put brackets around every term here. That one is a term by itself, and that is the numerator there. So first thing first, I'm going to times this 5 up on this side, and I'm going to times this, so all this is going to be multiplied by 5, and all this term is going to be multiplied by 4, just to get rid of the fraction here. Okay, so we'll rewrite this as 5 open bracket 3x plus 8. So it's literally that term with the 5 outside equals. Now everything on this side is being multiplied by 4. So I'm going to say 4. I'm going to introduce square brackets because I've got 1 here. And I've got plus 2x minus 2 on this side. Okay, so I had that 1 and I had that 2x minus 2. Now one thing what I didn't do, and my apologies, when I'm times it by 5 today, I have to times 5 on this side too. Sorry. So my bad here. I need to times this term here should have been multiplied by 5. Okay, just be careful here. So what I've done here is, I'll take that back, so times all this side by 5. This 1 should have been multiplied by 5, because what we got here is 1 is the same as, if I put here 1 is the same as 5 over 5, in order to put everything over one denominator. So I should have done that first, my apologies. So the 1 should be times by 5, since it's 5 over 5. Then I can put this all over one denominator, okay, which will be 5. So that's 1 times 5, and you got that. Okay, so let's just expand this out. So what we got here, times everything by 5 here, so we end up with 15x. 5 times 8 is 40. And on this side, 1 times 5 is 5, so 4 times 5. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 2x is 8x. And 4 times minus 2 is minus 8. Okay, so let's just quickly collect all the like terms together. So that's 15x plus 40. And on this side, we're going to get 20 minus 8 is 12, plus the 8x. Now, I want to just pour the x's on the side, which has got the most x's on. So that's got 15, that's got 8. So I'm going to take this plus 8x and take it to the other side. Opposite plus 8x is minus 8x. So 15x, take away 8x is 7x. Plus 40 is going to equal, now the x's have gone on this side, so that's just got 12 on here. Right, so this is a plus 40. Take that to the opposite side, becomes a minus 40. So you end up with 7x equals, now 12 take away 40, so 40 take away the 10 is minus 30, so that's going to be minus 28, since 12 plus, yeah, so if we think about the negatives, 12 plus 28 is going to give me 40. Okay, so that's going to give me minus 40. Once I also made 14, I paid them £12, I still owe them 28, so that's going to be minus 28. And the opposite of times 7 is divide by 7, both sides by 7. So I end up with x equals, how many 7's going to 28? 7, 14, 28 is 4, so that's going to be minus 4. Okay, so just make sure you be careful here when you put them all over one denominator. So looking at 13, we're going to have a similar kind of effect what we had before. So we just got to be careful here before we do anything. Now to avoid that problem, what I'm going to do is what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it all over one common denominator here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this as 30. 3 is the same as 30 over 10 minus, now I'm going to put brackets around here, 2x minus 6, because don't forget this is a whole fraction, okay? This is taken with a whole fraction, so that's not over 10 equals x plus 4. What I'm going to do here also is I'm going to divide, put brackets around here too. Okay, so this is all over one denominator, so I might as well write this down over one denominator. We've got 30 minus bracket 2x minus 6 all over 10 equals x plus 4. I'm going to put brackets around it because what I'm going to do here now, I'm going to get rid of this, divide by 10 and take it to the other side and times it by 10. So I end up with 30 minus 2x minus 6 equals 10 times x plus 4, that bracket. So what I'm going to do now is get rid of the brackets. So just got to be careful here because you've got two negatives there. Two negatives will make that into a positive. So we get 30 minus 2x minus minus becomes a plus 6 and times this by 10. 10 times x is 10x and 10 times 4 is 40. Now we want the x's on the side which got the most on. So in this case 10x is more than minus 2x, so I'm going to keep the x's on here, grab this minus 2x, take it to the other side, make it plus 2x. So I've got 30 plus 6 is 36 equals 12x plus 40. Okay, so I'm going to take the plus 40, should I change the color one, take that to the other side, becomes minus 40. So that gives me 36 minus 40 is minus 4 equals 12x. Now, as I said before, I prefer to write this as 12x equals minus 4. So opposite times 12 is divided by 12, so x would equal minus 4 divided by 12. And obviously we can cancel that out because 4 goes into both of them, so that's going to be a minus 1 over, how many 4s and 12 is 3, so minus a third. Okay, that's job done.